Ethereum tab is payment, but more importantly, he's given me a mystery to keep my brain occupied, instead of letting it sink into the mud of my memories. The clear tab is nice, though, not going to lie. So here I am, about to step right into a whole swimming pool of trouble. Nightshire Farms really tries to drive the whole evil point home, as much as something with the aesthetic of a kid's cartoon can. The buildings are various shades of black and purple, and so lopsided they look like their architects hated the concept of symmetry. Both the farmhouse and the barn have their windows and doors positioned perfectly to look like snarling faces. There's no detail to the horizon, just flat in every direction, and a haze of red dust that makes the sun look like it's dying. The soil is volcanic ash, thick and gray, and all the plants have faces, poison-red berries with wrathful little scowls, street gangs of fat green gourds sneering and looking for a challenge. And between the barn and the house, standing in military-precise rows, is the corn. Farmer Nick sold the situation short. When he said screaming, I pictured hungry babies wailing, or maybe someone getting surprised in the dark. This is straight from the heart, pants-wetting terror, like the world's biggest predator is one toothy lunge away from devouring the corn and everything it loves. I understand why Farmer Nick was waiting at the rudbarium. I don't want to be anywhere near this noise either. But I wish he'd told me that cotton balls in my ears weren't quite going to cut it. I'm tempted to scream just to let out the pressure. I start my clue mining on the edges of the corn rows, taking measurements, getting a summary established in my head. The corn's yellow, but more old butter than noonday sun, and the stalks are varying shades of green, none of them healthy. There are 66 rows, with 6 stalks on each row. If that metaphor seems heavy-handed, congratulations, you now know why this idea never got past a storyboard. I do a full circuit for missing or broken stalks, but nothing doing. It's a perfect little phalanx of corn cobs, all of them screaming their darn heads off. Next, I check the dirt. The ground gets colder the closer to the corn I get. The color shifts too, turning deep purple instead of choking gray. That could just be a quirk of Nightshire's soil, but my detective stuff says it's a clue. The detective stuff is magic. Just trust me, the longer explanation for it doesn't help much. I pick up a handful of the gray dirt, let it sift through the cotton stubs I call toes. Other than the temperature, it feels like dirt, moves like dirt, smells like dirt. I pick up some of the purple stuff, and right away it's different. It's thinner and lighter, pouring between my toes in viscous wisps like I've grabbed onto nighttime mist. I have a theory fermenting. I look at the corn again, and I let my detective stuff speak to me. It says to check their faces, so I take a gander at one up close and personal. It's not pleasant. This close, the screaming's a drill pushed right up against my skull, but that doesn't stop two thoughts from colliding so hard they burst. I look again at Nick's other crops, and I look back to the corn, and I see exactly what I expect to see. I'm so excited my toes start to vibrate. It's the details, I say to the partner I like to pretend I still have. The faces aren't like the faces on Farmer Nick's other crops. The others are cartoonish, abstract, and simple, just like every other kid show idea I've ever come across. The corn, though, has definition. There are veins in the eyeballs, contours and deformities in the teeth, and an all-around stink of compost coming off them. This didn't come from Sundrop Farms, I mutter. See, the one advantage to your creator dropping you in the Stillreal, you can travel to ideas other than the one you were dropped in. The catch is that when friends travel to an idea they aren't originally from, they bring a little of their home with them. If you're just passing through, like I am, it's pretty minor and pretty brief. The colors around here might be brighter after I leave, or a few ears of corn might look like they're made of fabric. At least until Nightshire Farms reverts back to its version of normal. But if something from another idea sticks around too long, things start to go really sideways, like, say, horrifying faces on your ill-gotten crops. I follow the purple dirt, watching the way it blends into the gray. It was easy to miss at first, but on second glance, there's a hint of purple.